Hi. Today we're going to be talking about my gap teeth, my little self-hate journey, my little self-love journey, whatever you want to call it. My lips are a little bit crusty in case anyone has anything to say, but if I get up from this seat, I'm going to procrastinate filming again and it's just never going to happen, so we are filming now. So, I used to do this thing basically where I would smile with my mouth closed in every single picture. Basically, you would not find, it's actually hard for me to find a picture of me when I was younger with my mouth like smiling with my teeth, because I just didn't do it because I hate my gap teeth. And now this is one of my favorite pictures. Like, I'll probably put it here, I feel like there's space here, but it's one of my favorite pictures and I'm smiling fully and I'm really proud of that. And I just want to talk about basically my little self-hate journey, how I ended up liking my gap teeth and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, stick around if you're curious. I have notes, by the way, because even though I remember stuff, I don't remember stuff, so yeah. Starting off with why I hate my gap teeth. So basically, hating my gap teeth stemmed from people making fun of it. Like, people never really could say much about me outside of that. Like, they didn't say that I'm dumb. I never really got, like, ugly comments. I think I can only think about, like, once or twice when a guy called me ugly, but outside of that, I never really heard it from anyone. I was also, like, quite good at sports, so people couldn't really say anything about that about me. So they would always just come for my gap teeth. And I remember there was this one guy, I was having, like, the dumbest argument with him. I don't remember about what, but we were on, like, this long bus journey and me and him were just arguing back and forth. And he was like, oh, how many mind you, I'm at the front of the bus and he's, like, towards the back. And he's like, how many £1 coins can you fit in between the gap teeth in your mouth? And I was in shock. Like, honestly, hats off to him, because that was creative. I'd never heard that one before. And I still remember it to this day, so well done, honestly. But yeah, people were laughing and it was just a lot for me, you know. I was just like, that is insane. Like, and the fact that I still remember it to this day it tells you a lot, right? But yeah, so I would get lots of comments like that basically whenever I'd argue with people, and I don't know why, but when I was younger I would argue with people quite often. Now I think about it, like, I was just on violence. Like, I don't know why. I'm more peace and love now, when I can be anyway. But yeah, back then I was arguing a lot. So that's the one thing that people would always say about me, and it really, really got to me. But for some odd reason, actually, you know, before I go to that, let me say, I think another thing is that I grew up around a lot of people that had really nice smiles and didn't really have gap teeth. I think I probably grew up around maybe like one or two people that had gap teeth, and their gaps were like really, really small, cute, petite, suited them. So I just wasn't the biggest fan of mine because of that. Like, I loved it on them, hated it on me, basically. And yeah, I'd say those are like the two main reasons why I wasn't too fond of it. And you know, people would always tell me like, oh, I love your gap teeth, you look so pretty, blah, 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 blah. But I just didn't really want to hear it. Like, it just wasn't, I just didn't feel it. And if I don't feel it, I don't feel it. So I get to secondary school now, and basically I already had it in the back of my, I shouldn't even say back of my mind, but I had it in the front of my mind. Like, I'm getting rid of this gap. Like, it's not staying with me throughout this secondary school journey. We are getting rid of that immediately. So in year 7 I couldn't get rid of it. By the time I hit year 8 we could. They basically had said that I had this like weird thing where my teeth moved apart, and I mean, you can kind of see it with my bottom teeth. There's like mini gaps, and because of that they gave me braces. So I had braces on both my top and bottom teeth, and that basically helped me with my journey, to be honest, because as soon as my gap was closed, which was like mid year 9, I took them off. I was shining my teeth left, right and centre. Like, you could not, now you can get a picture with me where I was smiling with just my mouth. Like, my teeth were just out and everywhere. They were doing advertisements. They were all over the gaff. So yeah, I was like a lot more confident with my smile and just like generally as a whole, thanks to that. And I definitely don't regret like closing my gap teeth at all, because Lord knows I was dealing with some other issues in that place. Like, I went to a predominantly white secondary school, and although I grew up around a black community, I think going to predominantly white secondary schools definitely is another conversation in and of itself as a black woman. But that's another video for another day. And yeah, so some people were interrogating me about like why I closed my gap teeth, but like I said, like I didn't care, to be honest. Like, I was happy, and I don't really care if you have other opinions when I am happy. So yeah, and I think that's a good trait to have. Can be bad in some situations, but I think in this case it was definitely the right thing for me. And yeah, so I had no regrets basically, and I was pretty happy with my decision. So yeah, we go through the entirety of secondary school and sixth form with not with braces, sorry, with my teeth shut, both top and bottom. And then we get to first year. So we're in the first year at the university now, and basically I find that a lot of people are acting like they've just never encountered the opposite gender before. Like, there was a lot of weird guys in my year, I'm not gonna lie, or at least they were just very weird at the start. I just think they just hadn't interacted with women, like, as friends before, so it was just a bit weird from them. But that aside, it was making me a bit uncomfortable, but also making me think about the fact that I don't want to be with someone who doesn't actually like me with my gap teeth, because that's how I look naturally. I don't really know where that thought kind of stemmed from, but it was just like itching in the back of my mind and I couldn't really get rid of it. So that was one reason why I wanted to close my gap. But then I also started thinking about the fact that if my children are born with gap teeth as well, then I can't really tell them to love themselves, and they would actually like be validated in listening to me because I closed my gap teeth and I didn't like my gap teeth. So why would I tell them, or why would they believe me when I tell them that they look beautiful, that their gap teeth looks nice, when I don't even have my own? Like, it doesn't make sense. So based off those two reasons, I would say that's why I ended up like leaving my gap open. So towards the end of first year, I just stopped wearing my retainers, and then that's how my teeth just started to slowly move apart again. So the rest of my university journey basically was just me with gap teeth, which was quite validating. If you are in a similar situation and you want to stop wearing your retainers, I'm just warning you now, it is a very, very, very painful process to stop wearing your retainers. Like, it genuinely hurt for my top teeth to open again, my bottom teeth to move again. It was so painful, but genuinely worth it. Like, genuinely worth it, because I will say that it was quite validating to be able to see myself as I'm supposed to see myself again. Like, this is how I was made with gap teeth. And yeah, like, I started to see myself as like prettier with my gap teeth. I kind of liked that it was a different look, because in this world full of veneers and whatnot, it's nice to have something different about yourself. And it also seemed like my attention levels, I guess you can call it, didn't really decrease in any way, shape or form. Like, I'm not saying that like men is the key thing validating me, but I mean, if you get a certain standard of attention and then it changes, that would have probably made me feel a bit kind of away a little bit, but hasn't changed at all. So yeah, I mean, that's another thing that was just kind of validating from the whole situation. Yeah, I mean, it was basically an experiment to see if my gap teeth were as big of a deal as I thought they were, and the conclusion is that they weren't. I'm still beautiful. I see myself as beautiful now, regardless of other people's opinions of me. I like my gap teeth, so if people were still going to come and make fun of my gap teeth, it's not going to change my opinion in any way, shape or form. I like how I look. It's nice. I don't really mind it. And honestly, another thing is I even found out, like, in Nigerian culture, people see gap teeth as like a sign of beauty and a sign of royalty, which I very much love, because that's very much my vibe. So yeah, that was just another plus on top of the other pluses. And that's basically like my story. I don't think I have anything else. I mean, like I said, I'm looking at my notes, but that's like the end of my notes basically. So yeah, I spent years trying to not smile like this, but now I smile like this all the time, which is amazing. And if you are a fellow gap teeth warrior, or if you like us gap teeth warriors, then please do subscribe. I can't really promise any outcomes, but it will make me very happy, and I will try to post more often. Your girl procrastinates every now and then, but yeah, I will try to post more often. Let's see. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye.